Alzheimer's affected my family in a way that just kind of blew it up. My mom started showing symptoms in her mid-50s and was diagnosed at 57. I couldn't even say it. I couldn't even say my mom has Alzheimer's. It's just like the words of that sentence didn't make sense.
To watch my grandmother and then watch my mother watch her mother suffer through this disease was truly heartbreaking for all of us. It was so heart-wrenching to watch my mother go through this because a lot of the caretaking fell on her.
You know, you feel defeated because she had done everything right. She had her PhD, she never smoked, she was a light drinker, she exercised all the time, so it just felt like she drew the short straw. And initially you're mad because you're like, well, if you're doing everything right and you're gonna get it anyway, how is that fair?
It won't happen to me. I'm smart, I'm good. I walk, I run, I do crossword puzzles. My grandma did all those things. She was active in her community for a very long time. She did all the things right.
Her dad had it, so we knew that there might be a family connection, but he was in his 80s. So to be diagnosed in your 50s was just an unbelievable blow.
She just was always very active. She was always very funny. I think we maybe even didn't realize it for a while because she was very witty and good at hiding that she didn't hear that and changing the subject.
And I did all this research. I was like, it's got to be anything but this. Please, God, let it not be this. You know, and you find yourself being angry, and then you think, okay, why is this happening? What are we supposed to do with this path and this platform to be able to talk about it and educate people?
Some people think it's an old person's disease and that it's dementia or, you know, it's just part of aging, but it shouldn't be part of aging.
So I think people look at it as a death sentence, and maybe right now it is, but between the diagnosis and that, there's still a lot of life to be lived.
Decision making ahead of time. I think it's important to start having these conversations much younger.
I hope my kids grow up in a world where this is a disease of the past, and it's not something that they need to be worried about, even with that family lineage of their grandmother and their great-grandfather having it.
We always called her Saint Mary. Saint Mary had 6 little lambs. Her maiden name was Lamb. And she was a saint enough of a grandmother to keep a tambourine at her house. So we could not wait to go visit and play that tambourine and make some noise. Somehow that tambourine went missing one year. I think she finally wised up and decided it was time to take that away from the grandchildren. She was sharp, and there was always a lot of laughter that happened in Grandma's house. A lot of big laughs and just full of life.
I loved watching her with my kids. I mean, she was just such a great grandma. And to know that they will grow up not remembering her for who she was is hard, but I will cherish the memories of her being there when all 3 of my kids were born and just watching her embrace that role. I mean, she was 48, she was a young grandma, I guess by certain standards, and she just embraced it.
I want us to be able to live full and active lives, mindful lives until the day we go.
And I don't ever want my kids to have to watch me or anybody they love deteriorate the way I've had to watch my mom.